Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Dev.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. Here we are with another one of our Deliciously Motivated Mindset podcast conversation chats, resolving the world's problems. What can we say? This is our conversation. And I'm really looking forward to diving into this topic. Are you giving away your power? OMG. This is going to be good. She says, oh.
I feel it right deep down.
I think we're going to go quite deep with this one. However, before we get into talking about tips and ideas and what does giving away your power mean, let's install some power first, some heart coherent, calming, soothing energy, some connecting. That's actually, this idea of giving away your power, sometimes you do it inadvertently when you haven't cultivated some form of practice of just landing into the present moment. So what I like to do is I encourage you to put one or both hands over your heart space and take a really deep breath in through your nose. Fill your belly with that, pause, and breathe it out of your mouth. Setting the intention that you're landing here. You're bringing your awareness into your chest, your heart space. This is your essence. This is where your power is. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, release any kind of chatter or anxiety or worry, blah, 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 that might be going on. Just let it all go. Breathing it out. And now breathe in, feeling yourself connected to Mother Earth. Connected to your own divine heart energy. And breathe out, sending out any energies that doesn't serve you anymore. And just as you breathe in the next time, intend that you're breathing in and requesting in any kind of soothing or balancing, grounding, connecting energy, breathing it in. And now as you breathe out, intend that you're connecting with all other beings in this world, in this vortex, listening to this episode and beyond. Just when we land in and connect at our heart's level like this, it's such a powerful way to tap into the matrix that's actually always there for us. Plug into it. That's what this is about. When we come into heart resonance, we plug in to this beautiful matrix, and we're not alone. We are empowered by this. Breathe it in. And breathe out. Feeling calm, feeling here, feeling like you've arrived into this conversation as we get ready to discuss this idea of, are you giving away your power? So we encourage you to grab your favorite note-taking device and start making some notes and just reflect for a wee moment before we get started. What does that mean to you? What does giving away your power mean to you? Deb, what does it mean to you, the idea of giving away your power?
You're weak.
Okay.
I was like, when you're giving away, you're weak. You can't see the wood from the trees. There's so much going on in front of you that you can't see clarity, you can't think clarity, you're in a, yeah, you can't see.
Discombobulated.
Yes, yes, yeah. What's that one word we'd use? Discombobulated.
Discombobulated.
And that is it. But I think, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking the main thing, the main tip to get you through this, the number one tip I'm going to say is acknowledge it. As
Mm.
soon as you can spot it, as soon as you can spot it, you can start dealing with it. Because we can give you a gazillion tips, but the truth is, until you can see it for the truth that actually this is it, and you can label it or name it, whatever you want to call, whatever you want to say all that. But as soon as you can spot it,
Mhm.
you can go, okay, now the healing can begin. If you want to
Mhm.
call it healing, or now the next part of the journey can. But if you don't spot it and you deny yourself, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, it's not
I'm
me.
not
No, I'm
giving
not.
my power away.
No, the moment you're becoming in that that I don't, no, it's not me. No, everyone else is, that arrogance, and I know that well, just for the record, I know that one well. But as soon as you can spot it, you just go, okay, yeah, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. And there's a different level of a feeling inside you
I was
would be it.
just so yeah, acknowledging it, but then also, you see, I think that
I just
sometimes,
acknowledge it, not and then just put on the shelf. I mean, I'm fully aware of that. It's not
yes,
just,
I
oh,
know.
I've got that. I've got that. Great. Thank you. Now I'm going to carry on doing everything I'm going to do. Whatever's been doing. No, there's more work to be done. But if you want to go to step one is, yeah, I've got this.
So what I'm going to say, so acknowledge it is an important piece for sure. But what I would say is that I think it's superbly important to elevate your awareness and your self-awareness. Because why I'm saying that is that sometimes we can inadvertently give away our power because we're not fully aware of where a belief came from or where a pattern came from.
Oh,
You
yes.
know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if we go along, like, people pleasing is a perfect example of that, because of
Oh,
course people pleasing is the ultimate in giving away your power. But
yeah.
unless you're aware of, oh, I have the propensity to put other people's demands or agendas or requests above my own, that in itself is giving away your power. So, but we have to be aware, oh, that's my pattern.
Mm.
And I can attest to this because that was the one that has caused me burnouts in my life. And then I had to become very aware of, there's the pattern, there's the propensity. And something that is superbly important also in this is to not beat yourself up, not get into, oh, I suck. I did it again. I screwed up
Oh.
again. Because that's actually further depleting your power, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. When you get on that crazy ass train, the only way to get off is fall off. And it's like, oh, and I say that gently, but it is when you start blame and you jump into that, oh, I should have known better. That self beating yourself up is just a path that nobody wants you to be on for a start. You don't want to
Mhm.
be on that path, but no person actually wants you to go and beat yourself up. And I know there's people in here going, yeah, but my ex-husband and no, they generally don't actually want you to beat yourself up.
No.
No one really wants you to do that. But that is 100% just that self-awareness. But I started thinking when you were talking here, can I just say what a beautiful bloody topic.
It is a beautiful bloody topic.
Bloody beautiful topic. I'm just like, yeah, this is a goodie. This is definitely a goodie.
Mhm.
But when I go back to this here, I started thinking about this and I started going, the word validation came in.
Okay.
And that comes along with that people pleasing part. But
Yeah.
where are you seeking that validation? Where are you trying, and who are those people? Where are you constantly looking for approval from others before you make a decision, or you feel good about yourself or something like that? But it's where is that? Where are you seeking that validation? Because there will be a huge pattern.
Mhm.
And when you see that, I know you touched on people pleasing, but as soon as you can see that, you're like, oh, here's a pattern here. This
Yeah.
happens all the time with my mum, or oh, this happens all the time with whatever. And it just alerts you again, how I talked about acknowledging and Moira's talked about elevate your self-awareness, opening your eyes, but there it's like, ah, okay, here we go again. I'm back on and I'm just going to use mum as example, my mum, not my mum, but it's that mum thing again. I've got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
Mom
Now I
thing or the dad thing or
yeah,
the,
yeah.
yeah,
Spot
yeah.
it, you've got it. But as soon as you can do it, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that acknowledge again. As soon
Hmm.
as you can acknowledge, like, oh, well, that makes so much sense. And it's not an excuse, but where are you getting that validate? Where do you need that validation from? And because that's an icky place to be.
It really is. And like on the heels of that one, because that is such an important part, because really, when we're looking for validation, we have the the
Oh,
plot line that
yeah.
we are worthy of our own validation, our own approval, our own I've got this, I'm good enough. I've
Yeah.
and so it feels like there's a bit of confidence in here too. Right. So if you're feeling like, oh, I need you to validate that I'm capable or validate that I'm good enough,
Yeah.
then maybe that's a little tap on your shoulder to say, what do you need to feel a wee bit more confident? What do you need to feel a little bit more like, ah, I may not know everything. I may not know the exact right strategies or process or protocols, but I do know enough to be right in this moment, in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Does that
And
make
well,
sense?
yeah, and I wrote for that tip, I wrote down because I'm really great at when we read these tips back that I go, by the way, I wrote self-love
Oh, yes.
because
Yes, most
that
definitely.
just what you just said to me just felt like self-love.
Hmm.
And then of course we know the next one that comes after self-love, it's a T word,
Trust.
trust. Trust, trust, trust. Trust that you've learnt your experience. Trust that you're going to do what feels right for you at each time. Trust that nothing's set in concrete. Trust that you're going to get through this, but trust, even just that self-love, go back to yourself and I trust myself this is going to work out. I trust that to the universe this is going to work out. I trust, I trust, I trust. And when you trust, the world just opens up so many more possibilities that are a beautiful experience over not trusting.
Absolutely. Because that, and with that trust, I would say also that trust in your capacity and your capability.
Oh,
Because sometimes people don't even believe that they're powerful. They've got power. We
mm,
say, are you giving away your power? Well, I'm not powerful.
yeah.
Oh,
What power have I got?
yeah, exactly. It's like, no, wait. There's a dialogue in there that for trust. We
Yeah.
are all powerful beyond measure, in fact. Every one of us are powerful creator beings. And do not listen to that mind chatter if it's trying to say, no, you're not. No, that person over there is way, way more
Oh,
powerful.
even yeah, yeah. Even that mind chatter when that comes in, acknowledge it. Go, okay, yep, I hear you, but I've got that.
Yeah. Say thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Got
I've
it.
got, and that goes back to that acknowledging because when you don't acknowledge things, when you don't acknowledge things, they get louder and they get
Yep.
bigger
And they get repeating it over and over and over
and
and
they
over.
come in on complete random certain things sometimes. So yeah, it's a beautiful way, to have that trust, but to acknowledge that as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
It goes back to you've been through stuff before and you've got through it and you can get through it again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Um, can't believe we only got to like all the way through this point and got trust up.
Well, we did. But I was just thinking about another one of our favorites is the four agreements. The four
Oh,
agreements they're fundamental pieces around claiming, naming, and navigating every situation from
mm,
your center, from your power, right?
yeah.
So it's the four agreements for the Coles Notes version is to be impeccable with your word, to not take things personally, to not make assumptions, and to always do your best. So such simple practices. And Deb and I like to suggest that you say, just for today, I'm going to be impeccable with my word. So you see, being impeccable with your word means you're not going to talk smack to yourself or about yourself. You're not going to get trapped by your inner critic.
Yeah.
You're not going to take things personally if your inner critic starts going blah, blah, blah. You don't make assumptions, because sometimes making an assumption can be such a power drain. It's like, oh, the last time I tried this, it all fell apart. So there's no point in trying it again.
It's an ugly train to be on.
Hmm.
And and we still jump on it.
We do. I do.
Even though we know it's like, no, this is doomsday. This is leading to doomsday. You've got to get off, and there's a lot of that. We still get on it. We still get on it. I don't know
But
why just for today's not the fifth agreement.
maybe it should be.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is when we jump onto that kind of thinking, like you say, we all do, but
Mm,
we've forgotten. There's something fundamental about forgetting that we are divine beings that have this gift.
yeah.
And so are you operating with it? Are you using it? Are you showing up with it? Are you cultivating it? Are you actually telling yourself the truth?
Yeah.
That, yes, I am a being of light who is here to, each one
Mm,
of us has something uniquely ours, and it's our responsibility to bring it in, right?
yeah.
Actually, that's another tip uh about is responsibility. I like to use that word and say it's the ability to respond. We all have the ability to respond. And that means that we're not giving away our power, we're operating within it,
Mm.
right?
I love that where you're actually operating within it. I think that just feels wholesome. Got my word out. Got my word out.
Yay.
When you were talking about this, and even just that responsibility, I and thinking about tips about are you giving away your power, it came back to it's okay to fall over because to fall over you get back up. So it's that life is a beautiful journey. Like be curious, lean in, do things that you wouldn't normally do. So when you do fall over, you get back up. But
Mhm.
when you feel you're giving away your power, just after Moira was talking about that mindset chatter, just hand on heart, bring that heart coherent back to yourself, and just give that self love back. Just go, okay, I just had that moment,
Hmm.
or as one of my mentors said, a slip in your magnificence.
Yeah.
Just had a little slip in your magnificence, and we're moving forward now. And just bringing back to that, when you feel you've done it, it's a quick thing. Hand on your heart. It's literally a 2-second process that can just get you back to you.
Yeah. Back to your
It
neutral
doesn't
point, back to
it
your
doesn't have
center.
so you don't have to go and meditate for 4 hours. You don't have to
Mm-mm.
turn like it's just that's it. Just the simplest of things can be hand on heart, and just go. I've got this. Reminding yourself, how do I feel about myself? All those beautiful heart honoring, wholesome times. I think.
Heart-centered, definitely. But also, I would add to that to say that operate from kindness, from a space of kindness.
Mm.
Because, like you say, we do slips, we all do. We're all human.
Oh,
And because I'm thinking about, like, back to what we was just saying about the four agreements. Take that first one, being impeccable with your word.
mm,
That's a great paradigm or a great mindset, a great rule, if you like, or an agreement. Um, but I can talk mean and use bad words to myself about myself. So
mhm.
therefore, that's when cancel, cancel, cancel comes in,
Yeah.
right?
I love the way she actually says cancel, cancel, cancel so simply, whereas I get giggles when I do it.
But you see what I'm saying is that to me comes from a space of kindness. Like, oh,
Yeah.
and not get into, oh, dang, there I go again. I'm cussing myself. I'm criticizing myself. I'm shaming myself, guilting myself, blah,
Oh,
blah, blah. Cancel,
I'll
cancel,
just change it.
cancel.
I'll change it tomorrow. No, just change it right now.
Right
Hand on
now.
heart.
Yeah.
Cancel, cancel,
Yeah.
cancel, cancel, cancel. You see me slipping. Cancel, cancel. It's but hand on heart just pulls me back to when I'm in a discombobulated state. It is
Yeah.
the quickest thing I can do.
Yeah.
The quickest thing that can pull me back.
And such an important piece because if you think about it, hand on your heart, anything tactile brings us right back into the present moment, which actually is where your power is. Your power is not in the past, it's not in the future, it's right here. And so when we get into maybe using bad conversations like, oh, I suck, I dropped the ball again, I got this wrong, I have to go and look after this person first, or putting other people's needs above my own.
Yeah.
All of those things are giving away your power, but you can actually do a patterns interrupt immediately, hand on heart. Oh,
Mm.
right, my power's here. I've just come home right
Mm.
here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But even just the way, even when Moira talked, her tone just changed when she put her hand on her heart. Like you can't
Mm,
see, that's the downside of podcasts. But she just put her hand on her heart, and the whole energy just changed within her.
right.
Like that's how quick it can be.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be overthinking. Doesn't have to be anything. But when I was thinking about this, giving away your power, and I have a gazillion memories that are associated to me giving away my power, fully aware of it. In fact, last night I had an aha about one and I talked to Moira when I got on the call and went, that's it. Blah, blah, blah. So when I think about this, I was like, right, no more. Ensure that you set your boundaries without guilt.
Listen to Deb saying boundaries without going, I don't like that.
Ugh. Hang on, chat GPT, what's another word for boundaries?
I like
But,
that.
but
But
set
set them
these
without guilt.
without
Oh,
guilt.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because when you can set them without guilt, you just have literally inhaled your own power.
Yes. Because
So
you're worthy. You matter.
yeah, and you're not, yeah. It just feels wholesome again. It just that's it. That's it. Yeah, set
Mhm,
boundaries without guilt.
mhm.
But I'm also going to add a little thing on there without excuses. There's a caveat to that. So don't just set them without guilt. Say no more often, but without excuses. I'm not doing this because I da da da. And I'm still learning that one without excuses. And even last night I went to say something. I was setting a boundary and I went, oh, here's an excuse come up, and I went, you know what? I'm not even going to respond right now. It's going to happen today. Because I could just feel myself wanting to respond um with excuses. This is the reason why. And you
Right.
don't have to. And when you're setting your boundaries without guilt, there's no necessary added onto it. You're just setting your boundaries without guilt where there's no excuse.
I'd 100% agree with you. No excuses. But the other piece is no explanations either.
Yeah,
So excuses can sometimes be like, oh, but I don't want you to not like me because I'm saying no.
yeah,
But also that, I'm saying no, but here's why. It's like,
yeah,
no, no, your power, you have the right to say yes or no. That's it.
yeah. I have to
Because
say something
sometimes
too.
when we get into explanations or excuses, that's actually giving your way power away there too, because you're feeling like you need the validation or the approval from that person to say, it's okay, you're not letting me down.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Um, I thought I was saying explanation, and I said excuses. And when I wrote it down, I wrote
Oh,
explanation.
you're
No,
funny.
then you went no explanation. I'm like, that's what I said. And I looked down and I went, that's what I said. And I went, no, actually, no, Deborah, you said
You
excuses.
said
Right.
excuses.
I literally had to laugh. I literally had to laugh because I wrote no explanations down. Yeah.
You're funny. Well, see, but so excuses or explanations,
The same thing. It's just, yeah, I just giggled. I just giggled when you said that. I went, I just said that. And I looked down, I went, I wrote that. And then I went, oh no, I said excuses. I love that. I love
That's
that.
awesome. I love that too. Giving away
Which,
your power.
yeah,
Excuses or explanations?
which just makes me add another tip in here is find your tribe.
Absolutely. So
Find
important.
find your tribe because when we can find your tribe, I can say that to Moira. I just bloomin' said that, and it felt I didn't have to worry about the impact that was going to affect more like anything. It just felt right.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
It just felt right, and that the power is incredibly powerful just with that.
Right. Because we both see each other and get each other. So, and we know, you're powerful. I know I'm powerful, and neither of us take power or give it, take or
Yeah.
give. There's a real mutual
We're on the
respect
platform. We're on
here.
the same platform here. We're on
Yeah.
the same platform with the same vision and mission. I laugh more. Moira doesn't. Actually, no, she laughs more. She doesn't laugh at your problems. I don't think of you ever laughed at my problem. Well, actually, you probably do laugh at my problems. I just don't see it like I laugh, like belly laugh. But find your tribe, find that inner circle that feels right for you, where there's no judgment and that they just want the best for you.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly important when you're giving away, when you're looking, are you giving away your power?
100%. Because that's the thing too, is that how in that last one, whether it's excuses or explanations,
It's so funny. I'm like,
that's what, but that's when actually right there, if you think about it, if you feel like you have to explain yourself or you have to make an excuse as to why you're saying yes or no to something, that's a sign that that's not your person. They're not your people. They're not your tribe.
yeah,
Because like you're trying to say is that people who are in your inner circle, they love you, they see you warts and all, and you don't have to prove anything. You just get to show up and be the authentic, heart-led being that you are, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
there's people that I know that just totally don't get me or totally don't vibe with me. And it's like, okay, I've actually talked about this of late. I think I actually talk about it a wee bit on the recent course that I did on Insight Timer about mending your heart for the grieving process. Is that I feel that as we go through certain emotional upheavals
yeah.
or emotional growth pieces, well, um, we start to really become more aware of what circles people are best in.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
So we can say your inner tribe and your like next circle maybe, and then the third, fourth, and fifth, because we want and that the question, my question I like to use, how do I feel about myself here? So how do I feel about myself when I'm in this environment with these people, or when I'm doing this type of group exchange over here? And it actually helps inform what do you need and what are you willing to share and what are you kind of going to say, I'm just keeping that quiet,
Yeah.
right?
And I think just when we talked about that in a circle in our tribe, I want to say just because family are birth family, I'm going to bring this up. Just because family are birth family, they don't have to be in your inner circle.
100%.
And people go, oh my gosh, but I've got this religious and I've got to be close. No, you don't. You actually don't, because religion tells you. And I'm gonna say, no, you don't. You have to do what's right for you. And we are all different beings, but just because your family our blood family, they don't have to be in your inner circle.
No,
You
they
find
don't.
your inner circle, and you can put whoever you want in your inner circle, and you can take out
Yep.
whoever you want in your inner circle, because guess what? It's your inner circle to do.
And it changes. It
And
evolves and
I think that's
change.
just reminding us because, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, it does. I think we're having a little bit of fun. I can see a little Moira's a little bit just something's going on with their internet here, so I'm just going to keep talking. But when we think about this, you know, be when you're giving away, when you feel you're giving away your power, watch your language, and people who know me will be going, but Deborah, you swear quite a bit. Yes, I do. But watch your language is in. Stop saying I have to do this, I got to do this, I should do this. Um, uh, I ought to do this and do it. I choose to do this. I love to do this, or I won't do this. And this, I won't do this is a beautiful one, because that just allows you to take your power back.
Yeah.
Allows you to be back to yourself. So watch that language. And I'm going to bring up swearing because I am a little swearer. I find when you're swearing at somebody, like I'm a just swear. If it comes out, it comes out. It's just a word. As long as you don't direct it at somebody.
Mm.
So when I talk about the watch your language, there's two parts to this. There's the swearing in a sentence, and then there's swearing at somebody. There's two different things. Swearing in a sentence, I think, is acceptable in some circumstances. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Hmm.
Um, and I also learned there's things that you can swear in a sentence at a police officer, but when you're swearing at a police officer, that's a whole different. And
The big ball
a
game.
there's a $450 fine. We'll just talk about that when we say to watch your language. But if you swear in a sentence, it has a different. But the moment you start swearing at somebody and you've gone from a 0 to 100, you have
Hmm.
literally lost all power, all respect, all anything in a conversation or the environment. You've just lost it, and it's harder to get back when when you're outside the 100% crazy ratio.
But if you think about it, you're not being impeccable with your word.
Oh, 100%.
Right
100%.
there, not being
Yeah,
impeccable. And even, I would say, even if you're saying, oh, I have to or I should, rather than I get to and I love to,
that goes back to
that's
not,
about impeccability too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we do a whole podcast on just the four agreements and actually give examples
Really
of what
drill
they mean.
down on them. I think that's a great idea.
I think if you would
Yeah.
like that, Deborah, if you would
I
like
would
that,
like that.
if you'd like that, let us know, because being impeccable with your words, I know what that means. But even just when Moira was saying that, some people may not know that being impeccable with your word is not just to yourself or what goes out in energy, but just those things. So, yep, we'll just put a little side caveat there if you'd like a breakdown of be impeccable with your words with
Hmm.
the four agreements, then let us know, because we can definitely have a open conversation about those and
No, I
give.
think that's an excellent idea because so many times I've had conversations with people that, oh, that's so hard. That's so hard.
I bet you that's the one. Don't take anything personally. Is that one?
Yeah, that is definitely right up at the top.
It's the one that people say is the hardest. I'm like, what? And I'm like, actually, I get that. Sometimes, yep, I get that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. But you know, the other one too is and I've seen it is that being impeccable with your word because that one's sneaky. Because you see, if you think that you start seeing something, oh, that person did this or that person didn't do that or what did this, that's not impeccable. That's not being impeccable. And of course, impeccability is with your word. That's the thinking too. It's
Yeah.
the thoughts that you allow to be ruminating. And so even if you think, oh, it's okay, I didn't say it out loud. No, that doesn't work. There's Deb laughing.
Oh, I know that one. I didn't say it out loud, but hang on.
Hang on, it's in the energy vortex. It's
And I
in
will.
that field.
I've talked to Dr. John D. Martini about your internal thoughts and your conversations, and he said he would rather have the whole world against him than his
Hmm.
own internal thoughts.
Hmm.
And I get that, because your internal thoughts are just so incredibly powerful.
100%.
Incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Incredibly powerful. But
Well, that's
yeah,
what it said, and I'm not sure where this comes from. Anyways, it's probably like a law of attraction thing of some sort. But absolutely everything that's in physical form began with as a thought.
yes, yeah,
Every invention, everything, every physical thing, all began as a thought.
yeah.
Even us in physical form began as a thought, right?
And then boom, look what happened. Hello! And along came Moira and Deb.
Yep.
And you listeners, of course, as well. It's not just Moira and Deb. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's that sometimes are you giving away your power? Are you giving away your power to your own thinking processes?
Mm.
Because that's actually a really important part too, is just because you think it, I'll tell you to keep going back to cancel, cancel, cancel if it doesn't vibe. But sometimes, we can give our own power away to our own thinking process of that thinking process. Oh, I can't do this. Like think about being a perfectionist, for instance.
Yeah.
That's that. Oh, I can't send this. I can't press send on this article. I can't launch this course or this product because it's not this. It's not. I've got to get this done. I've got to get this right, just right. And that's huge depletion of your power,
Yeah.
right? If you get something, what's that saying that says you don't have to build the whole plane, you just start flying and build it as you fly. That's kind of paraphrasing it.
I know what you're saying, but yes, 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 yes. Um, I there's so much that we can throw ourselves out on this. But when I'm just thinking I know we're wrapping up time soon. I just saw that, Moira, by the way, that's my time warning for you. When I think this, but I think if you have a whoopsie, and I want to say nothing's permanent. If you have a whoopsie, um, just know that it's all movable, and you don't have to go, oh, tomorrow I'll start doing this. Like, what do they say? Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow. No, don't put off, what is it? Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
something like that. Words to
Like
that
that.
effect.
Something like
Don't
that.
put off to tomorrow what you can do today.
Yeah, and so if you want to change your state, if you feel you've been negative or anything like that, or if you feel you've done something, as soon as you recognize it, going back to that tip number one, as soon as you can acknowledge it, just go, right. I'm right now, I'm not waiting till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like they say, have a cheat day today or whatever, and then tomorrow don't have a cheat day. Just I'm changing it right now from this moment forward. I don't have to wait, because if you're at 10 o'clock in the morning and you're having a funky day and you're foul and you're cranking, you're like, oh, I'll just ride this day out. There's like another 18 hours that you're going to be in that mood. So just change now. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Change now,
The
and
rest
it's
of the
done.
day starts right now.
That's right. Yeah, the rest of the day starts right now. That's
Well,
it.
that reminds me of like thinking about if you're saying, Kate, I'm gonna really watch my food. I'm gonna not have a cheat day and then you go and have a donut. That can just maybe that's just a wobble. And because sometimes what people say, oh well, that's it. My diet, my calorie
Oh,
budget's blown, so I might as well just eat more of that and more of this and more of this because but no, the next meal, okay, I'm going to choose the the less
yeah.
fatty or less sugary
It's gonna
things. It's like,
fill me up wholesomely. Yeah.
yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
can take my power back right here, right now. Get back on
Yeah.
track. Yeah,
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I love that. So before we wrap up, we are gonna wrap up. Do you have a tea bag one?
I do.
Or
Uh,
will we do this now, or we do it at the very, very end?
We'll do
We
it at the
hold
very, very end.
I know she's got a tea bag, because not only do I want to go visit Moira in her homeland, but also, well, actually, it's not her homeland, or I'll be going to Scotland. I'm just going to say, where she lives right now, which is a new homeland. If I, yeah, I just want those tea bags as well.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know.
just
I'm
It's not
just
just
going to have to start hooking you up with a supply of them.
yeah, that's it. I love them. I don't even drink tea, people, but I would buy them for the tea bag quote. I'm just going to say that. That's it. We can't get them in New Zealand. I have to say that. But anyway,
Anyway,
poor me, poor me, poor me. Did you hear that, everybody? Poor
are
me.
you
Okay.
giving away your power to tea bags?
yeah, yeah, that's it. Are you giving away your power? So grab that note-taking device because we're gonna condense everything we said into a short space of time. Anyway, would
Anyway,
you like to start with the first one?
sure. The first one is what you said, acknowledge it.
Mm,
That if you're actually if we put this question to you, are you giving away your power? And you go, am I giving away your power? Maybe yes, maybe no. Well, maybe that's a you spot it, you got it type of thing. And if that is happening, then it's just the place to start is to go, okay, acknowledge. I'm giving my power away to somebody else's agenda or some belief system. You can't change it until you accept. Yep, that's the state. That's what's there, right?
and it's yeah, that is so powerful just in that on its own.
Hmm.
Just that.
Yeah.
Um, the next tip I've got written down is elevate self-awareness.
Hmm.
And when we go back to this one here, I've written down where did the belief and there's something else Moira said come from.
Oh, that's where I talked about people pleasing.
Oh, okay. So
So
there you
to
go.
having an
Wrote
awareness
down,
of,
I
yeah.
just wrote down what I wrote down. There we go.
But just be because a lot of us, me included, that's what I was talking about was my people pleasing tendencies. But you have to be aware it's there, right?
Yeah. Again, because if you don't spot it, you keep going down that path, and then you're wondering why you're broken at the end of the day, or
Hmm.
discombobulated, or frustration, or feel that icky energy from people again.
Yeah.
Is that people pleasing? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the next one I talked, and it was like a lead on from that was to release self-criticism.
Mm,
That inner critic, because and this is when you said that no one wants you to beat yourself up.
yeah.
I think that's such an important one too, because the inner critic can be like, oh, you let that person down, or what they say, or you did this or you didn't do that. And it's nobody wants you to beat yourself up. So why are you giving away your power to the inner critic?
Mm,
That's not serving you or the collective, right?
no, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Um, the next we've got trust. Trust yourself, trust the others, trust the bigger picture, trust that you've got through situations before, even if you cannot see a way out.
Mm.
If you cannot see your way out, just step aside. Don't be the crazy person in the storm. Step aside or step in, actually lean in, step into the middle of the storm, and you can see what's going on around you. But trust that you have an answer, because if you can see one side of here's a problem,
Mhm.
you can definitely find the other side of seeing the solution. So trust that everything is yeah, on the
On the
way,
way.
not in the way.
Yes. There
Yeah.
might be a time to say, I've got this.
Yeah. Got this.
Validation. This
Oh,
one,
I
this
missed that.
I know you missed that one because
I've
I
got
said,
it.
oh, validation. So this is what one you said too is where are you looking for approval from others? Where are you looking for approval or acknowledgement? Because that to me is another sneaky one of giving your power. Like I'll think I'm okay if that person says I'm okay, or if
Yeah.
they approve of me, or if they say, "Yep, you knocked it out the park." Then I'll say, "Yes, I rocked it."
And it's like, okay, I can see that. Ah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I did Google because I do have that written down, actually. You're right. Um, four, four agreements. The four
Hmm.
agreements. And I am just going to lean into my drawer and get out the 4 agreements, because I know them, but I don't know them in order. And we
But
all
it's
know
okay to not have them in order.
we all know I don't like putting things in order, or I don't know if it's I don't like it. But the 4 agreements: be impeccable with your word.
Just for
Don't
today.
don't take anything personally. And so as I say these 4 agreements, I'm going to go back to the start again of these 4 agreements. Think about a moment today where you've done this, or whether you've done it and you can tick it, or you've done it and you've got a cross beside it. Because it's just alerting you again to that number 1 tip of acknowledge. So be impeccable with your word. Okay, tick. and cross both. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And then we just add in the extra one, just for today.
Yes.
Just for today, be impeccable with your word. Just for today, don't take anything personally. Just for today, don't make assumptions. And just for today, always do your best. And it becomes way more achievable when we look at that. But we also have said, if you would like literally a whole podcast just on the 4 agreements, we would love to do it. We
Yeah.
would love to do it and give you stories and of where we've done things and where they've worked out and where they haven't worked out.
I love that.
Yeah.
As well as the 4 agreements, the one I have here is I had talked about a confidence boost. If you find that you're giving away your power, and I think this was on the heels of the validation one, where I said, well, maybe if you're looking for other people to validate or approve of things that you're doing, and you need to boost your confidence. And that's, Deb, where you said that the self-love. I would say self-love and self-worth, they're yours, they're your birthright. And so if you find that you're not validating or approving of yourself, then maybe it's a sign from your own core that you need to be more loving and kind to your own tender heart.
Mm. Mm. It just that I actually wrote self-love down. I think I'm skipping over mine. I'm like, oh, there it is there, right there.
You're just getting excited and jumping around.
I am all over the place, which I know we talked about it in a circle. Then, phew, thank goodness I've got Moira on my side on that one. But the next one I have is responsibility. And is that where you were at,
Yep,
Moira?
yep, you're on track. Yay.
I seek validation then? Yes, I did. But I reward myself validation? Yes, my arms went in the air. But responsibility. And as Moira said, it's the ability to respond. And when you take responsibility for your actions, decisions, emotions, and what's going on, you are literally standing as a powerful being. Even if you're feeling frail, if you're feeling like
A
you're
wee bit of a
4 foot,
wobble. Yeah.
yep, and you're 4 foot high and you're amongst 6 foot people, any of that, you literally, as soon as you take responsibility, you are 6 foot tall. You're actually 7 foot. You're literally super. I guess there are people who are 7 foot out there. I think about that. They're probably basketball players. If not, they're probably
Most likely.
people are trying to get them into basketball. But as soon as you can take responsibility for your own actions, you've literally just wrapped yourself in that self-love that actually I've got this. I am responsible for this. There is no victim mentality. It's victorious. I feel that when I'm responsible.
I love that. I love that. The next one is one that you had said, it's okay to fall over. You just get back up again. But when you said it, and I don't think I said it at the time, is that it makes me think of that, what I've said before about fail. If you fall over, sometimes people can think, oh, that's a fail. I failed. But remember that I like to say fail stands for first attempt in learning. I've got this. That was just the first attempt in learning. So just going to pull my sleeves up and get back up and go for it again. Right?
Look, I mean, well, we talk about basketball. Is it Michael Jordan? Like, how many times did he fail? Or
Yeah.
how many, like, exactly, first attempt at learning each time. And you know what? First attempt at learning. And then you do it again, another first
That's
attempt at learning.
another first attempt. Yep.
It's just
Yeah, I
rotating.
said that to somebody and they said, oh, but I'm actually like at the 1,000. I said, so you just
It's still at the first attempt.
first attempt at some other nuance. That's it.
because you've definitely done it differently the next time round.
Mhm.
You're not doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
I think that's the part. I've got heart centered down.
Yeah.
And this is where you can just do the hand on heart.
Mhm.
Hand on heart. Just remind yourself, you live here. What does this, what does this make me feel about me? Again, just coming back to when you feel, oh, that's what you just talked about.
No, this is saying being kind, operating from kindness.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
No, you're good.
Crikey, I love
Just
this.
getting a wee bit discombobulated over there.
Just a little bit there. Am I giving away my power? No, I'm owning it. Definitely.
No, you
But
were on track.
having that heart center, Moira did that heart coherent at the start, hand on heart. It's something just very incredibly quick process that can just ground you straight away. I've
Right
got
back
this.
into your own power. Yeah.
Yeah, right back in. And when I think about in that power of that heart center, is this the three questions? Is this good for me? Is this good for others? And do I want to do it?
Yeah.
And with your hand on your heart, feel that. And if you're a yes, 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 then
Then
it's a
it's
yes. But if it's a no, maybe, yeah, then it's
that's
a no.
that's a that's a no.
It's a it's a put it on the shelf till next time, till you're ready to look at it again.
Yeah, with
But
no excuses or explanations.
exactly. But pulling yourself back to heart center. Oh,
Yeah.
kindness written underneath. It's not
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Crikey.
So actually, that's funny. I was saying about the explanations and excuses because the next tip that I have is, and
Oh,
this was one you had said, and I loved it, was put boundaries in place without guilt,
yeah.
and then not feeling like if you're saying this is the boundary and I'm saying no to that, you don't have to say no and no, and here's why.
Mm,
No, let me explain to you why I'm saying no. No, you just no is a
yeah.
full. What's that? No is a full sentence. Put the dot at the end of it.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly. And the explanation mark. That's it. Set boundaries without guilt.
Yep.
Without guilt is
No
the
guilt.
no.
Zero guilt.
Yeah.
Zero
Yeah.
guilt given.
Yeah. Yeah. Zero guilt's given. Yeah. I like that. I like that. The next I have is your inner circle.
Hmm.
And when you have your inner circle, I wrote down your tribe loves you for you.
Yeah.
They love you for you. And the one of my favorite ones that Moira gives me is how do I feel about myself here?
Mhm.
And when you're in that inner circle and you've got people in your inner circle, how do I feel about myself here? Do I feel held, seen, heard, acknowledged? Do I feel that they've got my back? Do I feel like what is that?
Mhm.
And that tells you that you can move people in or out of your inner circle. And one of the things I did share is your inner circle does not have to be your blood family.
Yeah.
Even if
Such
you
an
have a
important
religion that
piece.
says I have to, you don't. I'm telling you now, I'm going against that belief to say you don't because your inner circle is what lights you up, what feels good. And if those people don't, then they're not to be in your inner circle. But you can have your inner circle A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Like you can like
Yeah.
label it whatever you want, and they can be in C and D, and it's still okay. But I'm not
Most
saying
definitely.
family. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, just your inner circle is the tribe loves you for you.
Just as you are. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. The last one I have is when you were talking about watching your language. You talked about watching your language, and shifting things if it's like, oh, I have to do this and I should do this and I got to do that, changing that to I choose to do this, I love to do this, I get to do this. But that's when you started talking about swearing also. Is that about swearing and this is when I was having some internet troubles, but I did catch what you're saying, that swearing in a sentence is one thing, but you're not being impeccable with your word if you actually end up starting to swear at a person.
Mhm.
So
And it's
just
a very expensive police fine.
yeah, don't want to go there.
Just saying to people, it's a very expensive police fine if you swear in a sentence, and they will correct you and say you swore to me, and I would say because I have a story. No, I said it in a sentence. If I was to swear at you, I could give you an example, but you cannot hold that example. And then, yeah, that went to a whole different level. But anyway, I did get fined. I didn't get fined for the swearing. I got fined for the two other things. We'll just leave it at that. One was jaywalking and one was having no ID. We'll
Oh
just,
dear. Oh dear.
but he said, I'm not going to fine you for the swearing at me. I was like, I didn't though. Anyway, and then I was like, Deborah, just be quiet. Go back to your. Did I give away my power? There's a time and a place. There's a time and a
Yes.
place with authoritative figures with those. But it is swearing in a sentence is very different than swearing at a person.
100%.
And your power, it is difficult to get it back.
Yep.
I have one down here before we go to Moira's tea bag. Is the rest of the day starts now.
Oh, right. I didn't write that down. Actually, I wrote the number, but I didn't write the tip. So yes.
The rest
Yeah,
of
we
the
did
day
talk about that
starts
one.
now. Don't wait
Mhm.
till tomorrow to change your world. Start now.
Yeah. And if you get a wee wobble, that's what I talked a wee bit about that. Like if you're on a watch my diet type thing and then you have a wobble, it doesn't mean the whole day's ruined. It's like, okay,
Yes.
the rest of your day starts right now. Right?
Yeah. Perfect.
Love it.
And teabag
The
quote.
yogi teabag quote is, when your inner and outer worlds harmonize, your relationships do too.
Oh.
That's a good one, isn't it? So
Oh.
that is such a beautiful one to anchor into this. Are you giving away your power? Because your inner and outer worlds harmonize when you hold your power, and then your relationships harmonize too. Love it.
Oh, I like that
I
one.
do too.
Oh, yep. Okay. Not that I'm not coming to see you more. I'm coming to see you.
Just coming to see my teabag, folks.
Yeah. Travel on the other side of the world just to see your teabag quotes. Yeah, that's the one. So thank you everybody for turning up today, for listening, to listen to the wisdom of Moira and I about are you giving away your power? And you know what I'm going to say again. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, are you playing the game of life to the fullest? That's it. Are you playing the game of life to the fullest? Because if you are playing game of life to your fullest, you're actually not giving away your power.
That's right.
So I'm going to say everybody in here is like, no, there could be more. Yeah, because
Mhm.
if you are, then you are powerful, not powerless. So after listening today, the next step for you is, what is your highest priority action step you're going to do today to achieve your inspiration? What is it you're going to be inspired about doing today? So what is your highest priority action step you're going to do today to achieve that inspiration? And then I'm going to ask you to share it.
Yeah.
Share it in whatever form you're in. If you're in Spotify, if you're in, like, share it. If you're in the Facebook group, share it. Let us know, because we love to know what golden nuggets you took from this. Or I say golden nuggets, purple nuggets, as purple nuggets with gold glitter, that you're taking away from this, because this is the inspiration part for us. This is what we love to do. This we absolutely love. We get up. Well, I get up early in the morning. I get up super early in the morning so I can do this. Yeah, and I love it. Couldn't think of anything different. So, am I giving away my power by getting up early in the morning? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's
Sharing
something.
from your power.
Yeah, it's the inspiring. So what is the highest priority action step you're going to do today to achieve your inspiration?
Love it.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you listen to our next inspiring, deliciously motivated mindset conversation, with Debz being me and Moira being
Me.
But thank you, listeners. I appreciate you coming today, and thank you, Moira, and thank you for fixing the internet when we're halfway through as
Yeah,
well.
I'm glad that we kind of rode that wave.
So we rode that one out. But thank you.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, dear Deb. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.